Hi, I'm Chris. I'm going to be doing a review on Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to start off from the beginning, how I was at the beginning, and how it continued into the final progression of this, how I felt about the game. At the very beginning of the game, I loved this game. Just the first 5 minutes, I was creating a character, and anyway, I was making the Khajiit, and I get to the point where I see these markings on this character, and like you could put these tiger markings on the Khajiit that make it look like a tiger, like a Siberian tiger or a cheetah or like any of the big cats, and it just looked amazing. Like I went from, oh, this is gonna be okay, to this is amazing, like in an instant. Anyway, I kept on playing, and I got through the beginning part, which was kind of boring as hell, but anyway, I got out, I started doing the quests, and the quests were incredible. I mean, like, the storyline based quests, which has never been in an MMO before, because all the MMOs, it's always just, okay, it's okay quest lines, where you have to try following the storyline. I never skipped a single line of dialogue through the entire time I played this game. Because for me, it was always about the storyline with this game, and this game did have really good storylines for the most part. The gameplay was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. Like, I would have liked to be a little more powerful because I got to a point where I felt like my character was nowhere near strong enough to fight a lot of enemies. I was a rogue, so I used leather working, which leather working was a really obnoxious thing to get materials for, because you try to make materials for it, there's like only certain things that drop it, and you have to find those. Later in the game, you ask people, hey, where do you get thick leather? And everyone is so stupid that you think, oh, you kill high enough level NPCs. No, I said where, not how. Okay? These guys are just like suddenly illiterate and don't understand what the meaning of these things are. The annoying thing about leatherworking is that not everything drops leather that is supposed to drop leather. So you kill a wolf and it doesn't have any leather because someone else came by while it was sleeping or something and skinned it alive, and it just sat there, so it's just sitting there with its muscles spasming out while it's just walking around perfectly fine. And then occasionally you'll find one that managed to escape getting skinned alive so that you can take the leather. And while you're running around, you're just seeing all this ore everywhere, and I'm picking that up too, and I'm collecting just as much ore as I am leather, even though I'm looking way more severely for the leather than I am for the ore, which the ore drops 100% of the time. Same with the cloths. They needed to do what WoW did, which is add a skinning system so that you just have to go skin a dead animal. You don't even have to kill it, you just have to skin it. So that's how I feel about the leather working. Okay, now let's talk about horses. Someone needs to explain to Bethesda that horses are not designed the way they have been building them. They're building them the way small dogs are designed, which is not the same as horses. Alright, the legs need to be brought down like a f***ing foot. It's driving me nuts every time I look at them. I, of course, didn't get the Imperial Edition, so I didn't start out with a horse, so I had to save up all this money from, sure as wasn't from killing NPCs, because they only drop one coin, because for some reason there's like a law that says you can only have one coin unless if you're on a quest to save the universe. So the only real way to get money in that game was to go to the torch markers on the map, go to the end of the place, kill the boss, and just stand there spamming your damage button so that you do enough damage to kill it, and then collect all the gear. So I just sat there for like 6 hours, spamming this button as I watched Netflix movies to the side, not even like knowing what's happening. Then I would occasionally look over and just see, oh, I have gear, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And of course, after you do buy the horse you want, the $41,000 horse that was expensive as hell, this usually happens. This is something that usually happens in Elder Scrolls games. You get to a point with gold, at the beginning you need it, and it's useful for stuff, and then get to a point in Elder Scrolls, money is no longer like any reason to have it. You just have it, and you always have this absurd amount of it, and no need to have more. And that happened the second you buy the horse. Second you buy the horse, there is no reason for you to have any more money. except for buying the motifs, so you can make Daedric armor and Dwarven armor, which you can't even make yet because I don't have it. But you make High Elven armor and all that other. The only reason for money is to go to the auction house thing in your guild, which is like a piece of. There's only the guild auction house to go and buy gear and crap, which is only like a few things that people are selling, and what they do sell, it's usually several levels higher than what you have, so you have to buy that and then just wait until your level gets that high so you can equip it, which all those items aren't even that expensive, so the money was still like not that useful. They only have so many things in your guild that you can buy. The bigger guild you have, the better selection you have, but you still only have so many items that you can buy. Like, I had to buy a freaking axe that was like 3 levels higher than me, but it was really good, but I still had to wait for 3 more levels before I could use it. But other than that, there was no reason to have money, so it was just like, I stopped looking for money. I'm just like, whatever. Well, hey, dude, want 4,000 gold? Here you go! It's a gift. And he's like, thanks, man! And it's just like, oh my god, that was... Sure, no problem. I don't care about it at all. Congratulations. The next thing I had problem with in this game was the abilities. The abilities, which I thought that were going to be awesome, because I thought morphing was like, you get morph ability like 5 times, and it turns out completely different than someone who went the exact opposite direction. Like, how amazing would that be? You would morph an ability again and again and again until it is so different from what it started out as. That would have been amazing, and they wouldn't need that many more abilities, because it literally would be tailored to exactly what you want, and that's how they made it sound. But no, it only morphs 1 time, and then you have an okay ability that's slightly different than his ability, who, since there's so many rogues and so many whatever of your class, since there's only 4 classes, everyone is using the same abilities. Plus, at level 32, I had all of my abilities set up. There was nothing going to be different when I was max level. So what was the point of me trying? I got to the point where I'm like, I only want to finish this game so I could see what I look like and how I do on the battleground. That's the only reason I want to be in this. That's the only reason I'm still playing this game. One of the reasons that's really annoying is that I had to pay early just so I could play as any race. Because could you imagine going into this game and being forced to play one of the races in this selection, small selection, but all your friends are playing in this selection and you don't want to play that selection, but you're forced to play as a red guard, even though you don't like red guards, or play an orc. That would be great too, or whatever, high elf, which are like, it's just all terrible choices for me personally, but that's me. There are so many glitches in this game. Glitches like the NPCs not reacting to your presence, and you just stand there, and they don't do anything. They're just like... They're like blind, and they don't see you doing your thing, and be like, okay, let's move forward. And they're like... Like, because you don't talk to them. It's not a chat-activated event. It's a stand there and wait for them to react to your event. So you end up having to log out, reload, log out, reload, log out, reload. Do that like 20 or 30, maybe like 30 minutes. You're just logging out and reloading, and maybe it works 1 time. That happened to me. I had to do that. And it was on like the main storyline. So it's like... something that happened 5 days ago, it was still happening after 5 days, and everyone was complaining about it, but it just kept going. Then there were people fighting over NPCs' conversations so that they didn't have to wait another 5 minutes for the NPC to reset. So you had to wait for those 5 minutes, and you click on that character, because you can't read all of the dialogue, because someone's going to finish it and then make the dialogue disappear, you're not going to be able to continue, so you just start spamming it, trying to get through it, even though you don't want to skip the storyline, even though they're making you do it. Okay, and then everyone should have had this happen at least once. It happened to me like seriously 10 times. I'm running around, I do something, like on the edge of something, and then I fall through the world. I'm falling through the world, and I end up having to type L stuck. Hit L stuck. Guess what happens? You die. But rather than it just you die and you reload somewhere, it actually still damages your armor. Like it's your fault that you died and not a programming error. When you put slash stuck, it shouldn't damage your armor because Bethesda sucks. And finally, the most annoying thing for me that I hated more than anything was when you were doing a quest and you had to go like fight enemies, and those enemies had conversations you were supposed to do with them. You go in there, you walk up, and all of a sudden someone else is attacking them. You walk up, and you're just near them. You don't even do anything, and all of a sudden it says completed, and you miss out part of the storyline because you were just in the area of the thing. So I missed the storyline because I just wandered near the next fight, and it pissed me off so much. It didn't happen all the time either. It happened only a part of the time. There are only certain quests in which that was possible. So it's like, oh, they had a choice not to do that, but they're like, no, let's do it anyway. Another really annoying thing was the only PvP is Cyrodiil, which, look, Cyrodiil is a really cool thing, but if you're going on and playing in the middle of the night, you can't play with other people. You don't get any conflicts in the middle of the night. And the only time in which you actually get to fight anyone for real is when you're defending, because then you get to come back to that same place. Unlike if you're attacking, in which you go attack it, and then you die, then you have to walk back, or ride a horse back, which takes like 7 minutes no matter what. And then you just die again because you're in the middle of the night, no one's on except for like these 3 people and these stupid NPCs that can kill you because you're nowhere near strong enough to fight them. To summarize everything I've just said, at the beginning of the game it was really, really good, loved it a lot, but the combat got boring. Leatherworking was the horse cost too much, and after you buy the horse there's no reason to have the money. There's really only like 6 abilities you're going to use at any point in time, and that's the only abilities that they give you. At level 32, I had all my abilities that I was going to have at level 50. There were seriously, like, way too many glitches in this game. And finally, the only PvP place was Cyrodiil, which was too big, not enough people, and took way too long to get back into the fight. Finally, the biggest problem I have with this game is that I paid $60 for it, and now I can't play it anymore. I will not play $15 a month for this game. It is way too expensive. If it was a $60 game, period, and that's all it was, and maybe you could pay for little extras and stuff like that, that would be fine. But this is a game they want me to pay $15 a month for. That is not worth it. Plus, another thing that really pissed me off was the second I got through the 6 days early premiere thing, they wanted me to pay for the next month, which I only gave them my credit card information, and then I removed it around day 20. I still had like 10 days left on the game, and I'm just like, yeah, it's not worth it. I give up. I'm done. I would have liked to have played all 3 of the different islands from all the different perspectives of the game, but I don't care enough to do that, and I definitely am not willing to pay for that. I'm done with this game, I'm done with it, and I will not be playing it again. Maybe if it's free, I might give it another try with just easier eyes and just less anger towards it, but it's just so much money for subpar gaming. Alright, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it and it was informative to you. I'll see you next time.